share our experiences and we'll also have the opportunity to take some questions from you as well. So let's get started. Give me a few seconds so that I can share my screen with you. All right, please confirm if you see my screen.
Yes, we can, Nalowa.
Okay. So I mentioned earlier, GEDU is a group and we own different universities across different destinations in Europe and the Middle East as well. So these are some of the universities, some of our universities, but we're going to focus on France and Malta today. So I decided to title this webinar Study in Europe, France versus Malta. Which destination is right for you? I'd like to start by saying there is no right or wrong destination. Each destination has its own advantages and disadvantages, and we are going to get into it right away. Please let me know if you still can see my screen.
Yes, it's okay, Nalowa.
Okay. You can still see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, unless you're moving and it's not moving. You're on the slide, study in Europe.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Just a second, please. All right, so before we focus on the key destinations we're looking at today, I'd like us to first of all look at Europe in general. Europe has been a very attractive destination for international students for a very long time, and it still is for a number of reasons that I'd like us to explore together. So first off is that the international degree that students are able to get when they study in Europe. You know, you get a qualification from a recognized European institution and get respect from employers and other universities. It gives you credibility and makes you more competitive both in the local job market and international job market. Another reason is a global career. Many students choose Europe because they want to access international opportunities. You know, studying abroad helps you develop skills. It gives you some kind of exposure and confidence that is needed to work in diverse and multicultural environments. And then there's the cultural experience. You sit in the classroom with students from different countries and cultures, Thailand, Japan, North Korea, South Africa. These experiences broaden your understanding of the world in general and also help you become more adaptable and globally minded. And then there's personal growth. Many students who have studied in Europe will tell you that Europe changed their lives completely, not just academically, but as a person. You know, stepping out of your comfort zone and going to live in a place where you barely know anyone. It teaches you independence, it teaches you resilience, it teaches you problem solving, and it builds your confidence. So that's another important reason why students choose to go to Europe. And then finally, there is your network, the international network that you're able to build as a student in Europe, from your friends, to your classmates, your lecturers. All the people that you're able to connect with become valuable connections throughout your career. And remember that your network is as important as your degree that took you to Europe in the first place. So the good news is that both France and Malta can offer great opportunities, but the real question is, which destination is better fit for your goals, your budget, your lifestyle, and your career aspirations? So in my next slide, we're going to do a quick, should I say comparative analysis? A quick comparison. I'm going to compare France and Malta as study destinations. Can you please let me know if you can see the next slide? France versus Malta, quick comparison. Are you able to see the next slide, please? Hello?
Yes, we see it.
Okay. So I always tell students that before choosing a university, you should first think about the country, because you're going to be living there for maybe 1, 2, 3, or even 4 years. So there are a couple of things that you should take into consideration. So when we look at Malta and France, the first thing we want to look at is the language. Okay, Malta is an English-speaking country, or should I say, English is one of the official languages of Malta. So Malta is easy it makes transition easy for many international students. Remember that English is a business language. And in France, while many programs might be taught in English, having some French knowledge can be an advantage, both socially and professionally as well. Another thing to look at between these two destinations is the living cost. Malta is generally considered more affordable than major cities in France, such as Paris. But however, our institution that we're going to look at very soon today, which is ICAN, also has a campus in Nancy that can be also very student-friendly and cost effective if you want to look at it on the cost side. Another thing to consider is the student experience. So France offers a large and more diverse student experience, especially in cities like Paris and Berlin, where we have some of ICN's campus as well. But Malta, on the other hand, has a smaller and more close-knit international community. And then you need to think about lifestyle also. France offers a rich cultural experience. It's famous for landmarks, history. It's a vibrant city. But Malta, on the other hand, provides a more relaxed Mediterranean lifestyle with beautiful coastlines and all year-round sunshine. And then there's the career opportunities. So France has one of Europe's most largest economies, offering opportunities across business, luxury, technology, finance, and many other sectors. But Malta is smaller. It's a growing economy, and it's growing particularly in areas such as hospitality, tourism, technology, and business as well. So as you can see, there's really no wrong choice. The best destinations depends on your goal, your personality, your budget, and what type of experience you're looking for. So we're going to dive right in now to look at the different schools in the different destinations. We're going to start with Malta, first of all. So why should you consider Malta as a study destination in the first place? The first point I'd like to look at is the 9-month postgraduate work option. So students are able to stay back in Malta 9 months after their studies, and most of our students have reported to find jobs within the first 3 months after graduation. Another thing is free transportation for all students in Malta, both national and domestic, both international and domestic students. Schools offer what we call a Talinja card, okay? And with your Talinja card, you're able to hop on buses and move within Malta without spending a dime on transportation. Another thing is a low employment rate. Out of every 10 people in Malta, at least 7 people are employed. So you hardly find employment the unemployment rate is very low. And then we've talked about English, which is an official language in Malta. Then there's also the Get Qualified scheme. So the Get Qualified scheme is a scheme that was implemented by the Maltese government. So according to the Get Qualified scheme, students are able to get back 70% of what they spent on tuition fee, not in the form of cash, but in the form of tax credits. But to be able to be eligible, there are a few things that need to be taken into consideration, which I will not go into detail for now. Let's move to the next point. Studying in Malta gives you access to the Schengen area. You have visa-free access to 29 other European nations. And then there's the weather and the culture. It's the Mediterranean weather. It's neither too hot, not too cold. They have all year-round sunshine compared to France that has 4 seasons a year. And then students are able to work up to 20 hours a week, and talk less of the numerous employment opportunities. So let's look at the institution that we're highlighting in Malta today, which is GBS Malta. Now, why should you choose GBS Malta? GBS Malta is accredited by the Malta Qualification Framework. It is also approved by the MFHEA. We have great scholarships available. In the promo video that was going around, if you watched it, we have scholarships from 30%, we have 25%, we have 20%, different scholarship opportunities. And then the teaching quality also is one of the best in Europe. They follow the British system as well. And then Malta is a destination where if you sign up through AECO, you are able to get visa support from the beginning right up to the end of the process. So let's look at the different programs that we have at GBS Malta. Okay, we have 3 different types of programs. We have foundation programs, we have bachelor programs, and we have master programs. Now, for the master's programs, we have 3 different categories. We have the MBAs with different areas of specialization. We have the masters in information technology management with different areas of specializations as well. And then we have the master of public health as well with different areas of specializations. Then down now to the bachelor programs, we have just 3 bachelor programs available. For this October intake that's currently open, we have the Bachelor in Computer Science and Information Technology, Bachelor in Health, Social Care and Wellbeing, and the Bachelor in Business Management, which will be available in 2027. However, applications or admissions are already open. And then we have foundation programs. These are for people who do not meet all the requirements to get into a bachelor program directly. Maybe they do not have the advanced level. Maybe they failed the advanced level because our foundation programs are equivalent to high school diploma. So they might have failed the advanced level or didn't have, maybe they want to study computer science, but they didn't do IT at high school. They will need to complete a foundation program to be able to get the basics to enter into the bachelor program. So our foundation programs are at least expensive programs. They are 5,000 euros and tuition fee is paid at once before visa. We have 3 intakes. Basically, all our programs have the same 3 intakes throughout the year. That's October, February, and June. And then the bachelor programs are 6,000 euros. Students are able to pay 3,000 upfront before visa and 3,000 after. And then the master's program as well, which is 10,000 euros. And then we have scholarships that start playing here. But to be eligible for the scholarship at the master's program, you have to apply to AECO. Okay, so Ivana will be sharing a link in the chat. If you want to take advantage of the different scholarship opportunities that are available, then you have to register on that link. Click on the link and fill your information. So how does the scholarship work? You get 20% once you apply. And if you pay your tuition fee in full, you get up to 25%, meaning that you pay 7,500 instead. If you want to pay half instead, you get 20% and be able to pay 4,000 instead and 4,000 later. And then also we have the early bird scholarships. Unfortunately, the early bird scholarships for the October intake had passed. It was on the 1st of April. However, very soon we'll be launching early bird scholarships for the January intake, which will be an additional 5%. So students are able to get right up to 30% scholarship to study at GBS Malta. Now, I'll quickly walk you through the visa admission process. So the very first step is to submit your documents. Of course, you have to pass through AECO. You submit all your documents, and if everything is in check, you'll receive a conditional offer letter. Now, a conditional offer letter means that there are still some conditions to be fulfilled. One obligatory condition is the admissions interview. AECO is going to help you prepare for your admissions interview. And at this point, there might be some other pending documents. When you're able to submit all of that and validate the interview, then you'll receive an unconditional offer. So the next step will be to accept your offer and pay your tuition fee. And once this is done, a visa checklist will be emailed to you, and AECO will work with you to help you put your visa documents together. And once your visa documents are put together, they'll be sent to our admissions team. Our admissions team will forward to our compliance team, and compliance does the final check and issues you a visa support letter. Now, this visa support letter is just to increase your credibility when you go to submit your documents at VFS. So what happens after you've submitted your visa documents and compliance has validated everything? You'll be required to pay a VFS fee of about 180 euros. So our compliance team books the appointment for you, the students. You just go, that appointment is to go and deposit your documents and do your biometrics. You'll receive an email, of course, with the dates for that appointment, and then you'll return home. Expect another email for the actual interview date. And again, AECO will work with you to prepare you. The school is also there to prepare you for this visa interview. And once the interview is done, you go back and expect your final visa decision. Now, there are two things that can happen. The decision might be positive, meaning you got your visa, you're going to be traveling very soon, or it could be negative. Remember that only the embassy holds the right to grant visas. No agency, nobody should ever promise you a visa. So if it is positive, AECO will continue working with you until you're settled in at GBS Malta. And if it is negative, an email will be sent to you from us, the institution, telling you about the next steps. So there are two things that could happen. You will be given the option to reapply or to ask for a refund. And if you ask for a refund, you'll be given a refund form to fill out, and the refund will be made within 30 days from the day that the refund request was sent out. And the refund is done in the same account that made that sent the money, with a 200 euros reduction, which is considered as transfer fees. Please, if you have any questions, like I said, drop them in the chat and we'll take questions at the end. So here is a list of some of the documents that will be required during the visa process. Of course, I don't want to read them out, but you can see you need passport, you need a bank statement of at least 9,000 euros. This is very important. You need insurance, okay? And talking about insurance, your insurance is supposed to cover, your insurance is supposed to have a covering of 100,000 euros. And you can work with any insurance company that is able to give you coverage of this amount in the Schengen region. However, GEDU has its own insurance company, which is called GuardMe International Insurance. And GuardMe can provide you the same insurance coverage covering all of these different aspects. And the insurance with GuardMe is 575 euros, which is also refundable in case of visa refusal. And then talking about accommodation, we also have different accommodation options available. We have accommodations on campus and accommodation off campus. Of course, on campus is expensive, it's closer to school. You're not bothering about bills or rent or things like that. Everything is covered by the school. While off campus is cheaper, maybe around 700, on campus around 1,000. But for off campus, remember that you will be asked to pay an additional 400 euros during your first month, which is considered as tuition and is non-refundable in the case of visa refusal. But for students who are going to Malta for the very first time, we always advise that they go with the on-campus accommodation. Then maybe after 3 months, they can decide whether they want to keep staying there or move to a different accommodation. So I'll stop right there for now. I want to invite Patience. Patience, please, could you turn on your camera? Hi, Patience, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, like I said earlier, Patience is one of our students at GBS Malta. She traveled in January. So Patience, please introduce yourself. Or would you like me to come back to you later? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm already sorry for that.
All right, please just introduce yourself. Tell us when you went to Malta and what program you're studying and for how long you've been there already.
Patience. I'm a product of Miss Nalowa, as I can say. I came to Malta in February. Actually, you were making a mistake. February 14.
Okay.
Yeah, I came to Malta, and I'm studying at GBS Malta, MBA Business Administration. Excuse me, in marketing.
Okay.
Mhm.
So just before we get into the nitty-gritty, what do you think you would say surprised you the most when you first arrived?
Mm, the weather. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. I think that's the most surprising shock I got because I got here when it was still the end of winter, as I was told, and the weather was really colder than I expected. It was really, really cold. Yeah, I'm not even going to lie about that. But it's normal. Everybody gets used to it. So after a couple of days, I adjusted to it. Apart from that, no, every other thing was okay.
Okay, so how have classes been so far? How many times a week do you go to school? How has it been so far?
Classes are okay. Everything's okay. I go to school just 2 times a week. Right now, the module I'm taking, managerial finance, it's on Mondays and Thursdays. The previous one, the first one, because this is my third module. The first module was applied digital marketing. I went to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And for the second module, I went to school on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And this third one, it has changed. So basically, they just keep changing as of each module.
Great. So my next question is about work while as a student, working as a student, because students are able or have the right to work 20 hours a week. But how other jobs are you currently working? Tell me what's the experience like? Do you think that a student will come to Malta and not have something doing while working, while studying stuff?
No,
Sorry.
it's impossible for you to come here as a student and not have something to do, especially in summer. Maybe in winter it'll be a bit difficult, but in summer, no, it's not possible except you decide not to work. Right now, I work though, and I'll try to clarify something. I know I'm not supposed to say this. Even though it is stated that you need to work for 20 hours, that's a very big lie. What do you want to do in the extra 5 days you have away from school? Do you want to be sleeping at home? So you work. So I think it's just mandatory that they put this particular period of time. You just need to work for 20 hours, but no. I go to school on Mondays and on Wednesdays. Tuesdays I'm at work. Thursday I'm at work. Friday I'm at work. Saturday work. Sunday work. So you cannot say, and I work for at least 5 hours a day. So you cannot say.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to ask what you're earning, but so far, do you think what you earn is able to take care of your basic needs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can peacefully pay my house rent. I can go out. I can buy dresses. I can eat. I'm okay. I'm okay. As a student, I'm okay. I cannot complain much.
All right. So to wrap this up real quick, what advice will you give to students who are considering Malta as a study destination?
Please come home. That's the only thing I can tell you. You love it. It's a beautiful place. It's an island, like you were earlier told, in the Mediterranean. It's really, really beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Even if you don't have food to eat, you will see somewhere beautiful that will get you filled. Like it's just nice. It's really, really nice. I'll just encourage anybody looking to come here that come. It might not be your final destination, but it's definitely a stepping stone. And you love it, the of opportunities you get to meet you and all the like. So please come.
Have you been able to hook up with some other Cameroonian students?
Mm-hmm. When I came here, just I think the same week, Cameroonians here in Malta, they have a platform, a WhatsApp group. All of us are there. They even have meetings every beginning of the month. I've not been there though, but they always say it in the group, what happened in the meeting, and all they like.
And if I'm not mistaken, is still a Cameroonian still picked you up from the airport the day you arrived, right?
Yes. She's a Cameroonian from the Southwest region. Yeah, that
All right, thanks.
yeah, and that's also welcoming though. Very, very nice.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you so much, Patience, for accepting to come on camera and share your experience with us. I hope that Patience's story is able to motivate those of you who are still on the edge, you're still considering if this is a destination you want to go to or not. So, Patience, thank you very much. You could turn off your camera now so that I could continue with my presentation. So, very quickly, we're going to look at France. We're going to look at France very quickly. We're going to look at ICN. So, like I said in the beginning, ICN is a business school. It's a very prestigious business school. They have been existing for 120 years. And they have 3 campuses in Paris, in Nancy. Paris and Nancy are both in France. And they have another campus in Berlin, which I'm not going to talk about today. Berlin is in Germany, so it's far from what we're talking about today. So there are good reasons why you should consider ICN as an institution. We have over 330 students currently. We have about 3,300 students, sorry. We have 130 partner universities. Now, with some of the programs at ICN, students have to go on exchange programs. There are some exchange programs that are mandatory. You'll see very, very soon in the coming slides. So we've partnered with 130 universities where students can take exchange programs at. We also have 150 business partners. These business partners are organizations. Very often we organize job fairs where we invite these business partners, and some of our students are able to pick up internships and apprenticeships during this period. Overall, ICN has been able to produce 24,000 graduates, and we have 23 student associations as well. So I mentioned that they have 3 campuses. The first campus is Nancy. Nancy is one of the best student cities in France. The cost of living is relatively low compared to the other destinations, around 800 euros, sorry. 800 euros a month. And the location of Nancy is a doorstep close to Luxembourg, Germany, and Belgium as well. And then the next campus is the Campus Paris. Paris, as you know, is like the European capital. Our campus is located at La Défense, which is the business district of Paris. Cost of living here, people always say that France is like a country on its own in France, because look at the gap from 800 euros in Nancy, so 1,100 euros a month in Paris. So Paris is more expensive. And then, of course, there's Berlin, which, like I said, I wouldn't go into. We'll dive straight into the different programs available at ICN. So we have 5 different types of programs available. We have the Bachelor in Management, International Bachelor of Business Administration, Master in Management with different specializations, Master of Science with different specializations, and then we have ZBA as well. Now, one thing to know is whenever you think about ICN, think about French and English, because most of our programs, students are able to take them in English or in French. So students from the baccalaureate can come to ICN and study in French without presenting the language test. Students from the advanced level can come directly to Nancy and study in French without study in English, sorry, without providing an English proficiency test. they'll be required to provide the medium of instruction letter, which is a letter from your previous institution attesting that you have previously studied in the language which you are choosing currently. So quickly, we'll look at the different programs. We have the Bachelor in Management. I've mentioned is 3 years. During the third year, students are required to pick a specialization among these different 6 areas of specialization. We have the International Bachelor in Business Administration, or the IBBA. This one is a 4-year program. And in the 3rd year, remember I talked about exchange programs. This one is part of the curriculum. In the 3rd year, the students must move to a partner university to complete their 3rd year. So it is, like I said, it's part of the curriculum, and the cost is of the student. So if a student is not willing or does not have the cost to take on the exchange program I remember that partner institutions are in different countries as well, you have to choose. So if you're not willing to cover that cost, then it's better to stick to the Bachelor in Management, which is 3 years, and all of that time is spent in France itself. So for the Bachelor in Management, students can take it either in France or Nancy in English or French. And then for the IBBA, it is available at the moment only on the Paris campus. So next up are the Master in Management programs. I mentioned that there are different areas of specializations. At the top here, you have the specializations available in French, and then you have the specializations available in English as well. I'm going to the slideshow so you can see properly. Yes. So these are the different areas of specializations, these different specializations available both in English and French. And then we have the Master of Science, which can be 1 or 2 years. I'm going to explain. So if a student has done 3 years, a 3 years bachelor's degree, they will need to come into the 3rd year. However, if they have done a 4 years bachelor's degree, they can come into the 2nd year with some professional experience. Yes, they could be accepted in the 2nd year and just do 1 year as well. So here are the different specializations in English and French. And then we have PhD, which is 3 to 5 years, and we also have TBA programs available. So permit me to come back real quick to the master's and bachelor programs. For the bachelor programs, we have an age limit which is strictly respected. Students cannot be above 22 years. And for the master's program, it is 28 years. However, students who are coming into the master's 2, for the Master of Science, they could take up to 35 years. But for the 1st year, they must be at least 28 years. So just a breakdown of what tuition fee looks like at ICN. The Bachelor in Management is 9,000 euros. We can accept direct entry into level 3 if the student meets the required credits. If they have done the 1st year and 2nd year, say in Cameroon, they've moved into the 3rd year directly, and direct entry, they'll be paying 10,000 euros. And then the IBBA is almost 10,000 euros as well. We have for the Master in Management is the most expensive, which is 14,500. The Master of Science is 13,000, and then our DBA programs 15,000 euros. So this is an idea of tuition fee for the 2026-2027 academic year. Mind you that these figures are not static as they change, you know. There will usually be a slight increase almost every year. So take advantage while you can. So for deposits, the initial deposit for ICN is 4,000 euros, and the rest of the tuition can be paid in 1 or 3 installments, 3 months following the student's arrival on campus. So I've come to the end of my presentation. If I was too fast or too slow, please forgive me, but this is the end, and now I'm open to taking your questions. So Ivana will tweet, look what we have in the chat already.
Yes, thanks, Nalowa, again for this presentation. I think you've gone through all the important details, both for Malta and for France. I will start with the questions in the registration form first. So hopefully some of these questions repeat themselves so you don't have to go through them twice. So somebody asked if there are any scholarships available in Malta for their preferred program, and the program is TESOL. So it's teaching English as a second language, I think.
Okay, so at GBS Malta, we do not, all our programs, or for the most part, our programs are focused around business, health, and IT. So we don't have the course teaching English as a foreign language. But if you're looking to study computer science, you're welcome. If you want to study public health, you're welcome. IT, with cloud computing, data analytics, AI, you are welcome. Those are the kind of programs that we have at GBS Malta at the moment. And for scholarships, students can get up to 30% scholarships if they apply through AECO and fill the form, the link. There's a link in the chat. You click that link and fill, you're able to get the scholarship upon registration. So yeah. Next question, please.
All right, thank you. Some people have been asking about the fees, both for Malta and France. So I think you can go through the fees overall and also specify if there are any fully funded opportunities.
So fully funded opportunities, no. We have partial scholarships available. And again, for GBS Malta, our master's programs are 10,000. Students can take advantage of the 20% if they apply to AECO, 25% if they pay in full, and 30% if they take advantage of the early bird discounts available. For our bachelor programs, they are 6,000 euros, and for foundation programs, 5,000 euros. For ICN, our bachelor in management is 9,000 euros. International bachelor in business administration is 10,000 euros. Master of science, all the specializations under the master of science are 13,000 euros, and the master in management 14,500 euros. So for ICN also has an interesting scholarship, but many students, because you need to have at least 80 on 100 of your course score from your program, then you'll be able to benefit from the 20% scholarship. The other option available for ICN again is the early discount, which of course for January has not yet been announced. That has already passed to us on the 1st of April.
All right, thank you. Please, can you go through some of the benefits that students have while studying in Europe, please?
So I had talked about studying in Europe a while ago. I talked about the fact that you get an international degree that can gain you respect among employers and university. It also gives you academic credibility and makes you competitive in the job market. I talked about the global career that you're able to get because people come to Europe wanting access to international opportunities. So the experience gives you the opportunity to develop your skills and confidence, and all these skills that are there to work in these are the skills that parents are looking for you. With these skills, you're able to thrive in multicultural environments. I also mentioned cultural experience, because you're sitting in class with people from diverse backgrounds. You learn about their cultures, you learn about their countries. These experiences broaden your understanding of the world in general and help you become globally minded. And then there is personal growth. There's something about going out of your comfort zone. As I explained, you learn resilience, independence, and problem solving. All of this make you a better person. And then there is the international network, the people you meet Hello?
Yes, I think we lost you for a quick second. Can you hear me?
Sorry?
Yes, I think we lost you for just some seconds.
Do you want me to repeat myself, or was the message passed?
I think you clearly explained it already. We can go to the next question. Someone asked if there is an embassy for Malta in Cameroon, and they wrote how
Okay.
far is the relationship. So maybe what they meant is like, because some other students might ask, what is the guarantee that they will get the visa, if they can easily get appointments and things like that.
Okay, so visa success rate for Cameroonian students is at 70%. You talk to patients who left in February and has told you that there are many other Cameroonian students in Malta. They have a community. Malta does not have an embassy in Cameroon. However, all applications pass through VFS Global, and VFS Global have offices in Yaoundé and in Douala as well. I hope I've answered that question.
Yes. If ever we mention your question and you still need further explanation, you can still type it in the chat or reach out to either ourselves on WhatsApp, because I think I message everybody on WhatsApp to you. Or yes, I think on WhatsApp is okay, or either in the chat directly, so we can conclude now. Someone wrote, please, as regards BScs and master's programs, is there not a diplomacy and international relations program one can join? So do you have diplomacy or international relations at master's or bachelor's levels?
No, if you followed the webinar, you have seen that we do not offer this particular program. However, like I mentioned at the beginning, GEDU is a group that owns and manages a couple of universities in different destinations. So work with AECO, they are a trusted partner. They could guide you through another pathway, maybe one of our other universities, and you could get admissions and be able to study international relations. We do have international relations, but not just at Malta or France.
All right. So you can still reach out and we'll get a solution for you. Can you explain to us what is needed for the proof of fund for Malta?
Okay, so for Malta visa application, the students must have at least 9,000 euros in the bank account. It must not be it could be the students if the student is self-sponsored, or it could be the sponsors, and the sponsors can be anybody as long as they provide a sponsorship letter. Of course, we'll provide you with a sample for that. A sponsorship letter that is notarized. The sponsor can be pretty much anybody. So this 9,000 needs to be sitting pretty in the bank statement, but you will be required to provide the bank, how do you call it? Relevant bank here. Bank statements for the last 3 months, and with no large deposits. So for people who build their account over time, we advise you to keep it under 500,000 as you build the account. So yeah.
All right. So I want to ask, can Nigerians apply to Malta schools now, because they placed some restrictions to Nigeria last year, December, I guess? Do you have any idea?
So if you follow the news, you know that there is currently a ban on Nigeria for Malta. I don't know why Nigerians are causing trouble everywhere, but no hard feelings. But some people, some of the Nigerians who went ahead have spoiled the name of the country, and for now they are there's a ban that has been placed temporarily, even though we don't yet know when the ban will be lifted. So Nigerians cannot apply for Malta at the moment, unfortunately.
Yes, but France and other countries where GEDU has schools are still very much open to
Of
Nigerians.
course, absolutely.
Yes. Please, can you repeat the age limit or the age gap acceptable for undergraduate students,
So undergraduate
both in
is
France
22
and in
years.
Malta?
The student should not be more than 22 years for undergraduate and foundation programs. For the masters, there is no age limit. That's for Malta. For France, the bachelor program is still 22 years. For the masters, it's 28 years. But for the Master of Science, for students who are going to be directly admitted into the second year of the master's degree, remember we talked about the second year, if they did 4 years of the bachelor and have some work experience, instead of doing 2 years, they will do 1 year, so they'll be admitted directly into the second year. So for students that fall in that category, they can accept right up to 35 years.
All right. We don't have any more questions, so I think we can conclude. I'd like to remind people that with AECO or through AECO, you have up to 20% scholarship available. I just reshared
I'm
the
sorry,
link
Ivana,
again.
I'm so sorry to cut you
Yes,
short, but okay, I just wanted to find out if you shared the scholarship link in the chat.
yes,
Okay,
yes, I'm
okay,
resharing it just so it's at the very bottom so everybody can see it again. Yes.
that's
So we'll be able to share this even inbox to people if needed, but the link is there. You can check it and fill the form. So you can assess your eligibility for the 25% scholarship that you can benefit from through AECO. Also to remind you that GEDU has different schools, not just in Malta, not just in France, as well as AECO Education Pathways doesn't have only partners in France or in Malta as well. So you are very, very welcome to reach out to us, and based on what you want to study, if you do have a preferred destination already, if you do have a set budget already in your mind, and even if you don't, we might find a solution for you. So thank you very much for joining. Through
look forward.
WhatsApp or quickly, yes, maybe even if you need, quickly drop them in the, just to save time, you can unmute yourself. It's okay. If you have one last question, so we can take it before we conclude. All right. I think that just confirms that all the informations have been passed. We'll be waiting for you and reaching out as well for follow-ups for those who are interested already or who have shown interest to these two destinations. Thank you again for joining. You can access or rewatch this recording. It will be available on our YouTube channel. You reach out to us on WhatsApp for any information. Thank you very much, Nalowa. This was a nice
Thank you
presentation.
so much. It was my pleasure.
Yes. So thanks everybody and have a nice evening.